Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Adamoose, and today we're going to be continuing our new series called In Depth. This video is going to be an in-depth guide on Ekko Jungle. In this series, we'll be going over Ekko's runes, items, combos, pathing, his strengths, weaknesses, and some final tips and tricks. If you do enjoy this video, it would really help me out if you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I upload almost every day, and hopefully you guys can learn something. Enjoy the video. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about Ekko's rune setup. Ekko's most popular rune page by far would be Dark Harvest plus Inspiration Secondary. Dark Harvest is solid since it allows you to burst low HP targets. In the case that you start racking up some kills, this rune will also allow you to scale extremely well into the mid and late game and continue snowballing. Sudden Impact is a no-brainer since the magic pen procs every time you dash with your E, helping you burst targets. Zombie Ward and Eyeball Collection are both good choices for the next row. I personally like Zombie Ward, but it does require you to be active with your sweeper to make it worth it. For the last option, Ravenous Hunter is the best since it helps you sustain not only in fights, but it also keeps your HP topped up while you're clearing your jungle. Next would be the Inspiration Tree. Magical Footwear is a staple in my opinion. This rune not only gives you free boots, but also allows you to spend 100% of your money on damage. For the second choice, it's between Cosmic Insight for the extra CDR, which is always nice, or Futures Market. I've been copying some high elo Korean Ekko mains who run Futures Market so they can afford their runic Ekkos as soon as possible. Hitting your power spikes early on is extremely important to start carrying your games on Ekko. Now that we got the runes out of the way, let's talk items. Ekko has a pretty straightforward build path to follow. Runic Ekkos is always the jungle item of choice. Blue Smite is also the best option in most cases since it helps you assassinate targets and lock them down. You can also go Red Smite if you're facing a ton of melee champs and you're down to scrap it out. After your runic Ekkos, you usually want to pick up Sork Boots. I almost always go Sorks in solo queue because it just gives you the highest chance to carry. You could definitely still go Ninja Tabbies versus full AD comps, or Merc Treads into CC tanks like Ornn, Maokai, or Leona if need be. Proto Belt is my usual first item buy. The stats are great, but the active ability is what's really clutch about this item. Ekko has a short dash, so the Proto Belt helps you close that extra little bit of distance to get an important assassination on the enemy backline. Lichbane is the next item choice. This item is all about pure burst damage. If you can reach this 3-item combo early enough into the game, you'll become a 1v9ing machine. For final items, Zhonya's, Morello's, Void Staff, and Deathcap are all good options to close out your build. Keep in mind that buying a Dark Seal early and upgrading it to a Medjai's could also be a really good option if you're snowballing the game. Now let's get into some of Ekko's combos. I won't add every single one, but these are the most common and important ones that you can use in every single game. Applying these mechanics to your game can be the difference maker in all of those clutch moments. Ekko's most basic combo is E, Q, E. You dash forward and throw your Q, making the skill shot easier to land. You then complete your dash to the target, bursting them and proccing your passive. Next, we'll talk about Q Proto Belt and E Proto Belt. This simply means pressing your E or Q before using your Proto Belt. It sounds really simple, but is extremely useful. Getting that extra bit of range before you use your Proto Belt changes everything. I cannot count the times I Proto Belt E, and then the enemy panic flashes just to take me with them. The next combo is EQ Proto Belt E2. This is simply a combination of the first ones. This is the best combo when it comes to burst damage. On Ekko, I usually follow a pretty straightforward jungle path. You always want to start Hunter's Talisman and go to wherever you get the best leash. This will usually be where your bot lane is. Since Ekko is not great at clearing single target camps, I almost always avoid clearing Gromp early. In matchups where you have a losing 1v1 such as Olaf or Lee Sin, I would highly suggest clearing both your buffs, wolves, raptors, and then trying to get one scuttle at 3 minutes and 15 so you can hit an early level 4. This really depends on how you track the enemy jungler, because Ekko is not the best early game dueling jungler. Although Ekko is not the strongest fighter in the early game, With some creative pathing, you can definitely still pull off some successful ganks. If my laners have a lot of gank setup and the enemies are pushed up, it can definitely be worth it to rush level 3 and then gank. This would involve clearing one buff, raptors, and then your next buff. Keep in mind that throwing your W on the enemy's escape path is the most effective way to pull off early ganks. Ekko's biggest weakness is his early game 1v1 potential. Although Ekko is not the worst early game champ, he's definitely not the best. Trying to hit your power spikes without dying should be your main goal in the early game. Don't get me wrong, you can still make plays, but just keep in mind that in some matchups you're going to need to give up some scuttle crabs and make some sacrifices to save your life. And finally, Ekko's biggest strength is his carry potential and scaling. Ekko is one of the very few junglers who does not really fall off in the late game. A big part of mastering Ekko is knowing how to make it to the late game without feeding. Ekko is a very useful kit if used correctly. Assassinating the enemy carries can easily turn a game on its head. Ekko's passive stacks up on multiple enemies at once. When clearing AoE camps like your raptors, make sure you use your passive on each target and it'll make your clear much more efficient. Ekko is a champion that relies heavily on getting a lead and snowballing the game from there. Knowing Ekko's most powerful points is very important to get the ball rolling and carry a game. Runic Echoes is your biggest and most important power spike. As soon as you complete this item and hit level 6, you want to be looking for fights as soon as possible. The next most important power spike is when you get your third item, Lich Bane. This is your strongest point in the game. Ideally you want to force fights around this time to 1 versus 9 and carry the game. That will do it for my in-depth analysis on Ekko Jungle. If you stayed to the end and have any questions or opinions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. If you did enjoy, it helps me out so much if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date with my posts. I post almost every single day. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.